Hello folks, today we're going to talk about why the Lumix S5IIX is still one of the best cameras in 2024 in my opinion. The first point is basically the price. It has an unbeatable price for what it delivers, right? And that's the Lumix magic. They deliver and unpack so much in such small camera bodies and always kind of try to bring something new. Like in the S5IIX, for example, we have that little ventilator or fan near the EVF, which no camera company has actually done something like that so small to avoid that your camera would overheat. Or with the GH7, for example, the 32-bit float capabilities, the REC Log 3, and all the other beautiful features that no other mirrorless cameras in the same price point have, right? So that is really one of the amazing things that Lumix always bring and shines in their own cameras, and that's the reason why I love so much Lumix cameras. The second point, the hybrid phase AF. It's amazing and it keeps improving and improving and improving. And one thing that I think people don't really understand and don't get when I talk about how good this autofocus is, I'm talking about the first attempt to autofocus that this company actually brings out by using the phase detect autofocus system, because until now they have had the contract detect autofocus system, which it works well for photographers, but for videographers we can even forget about it. So this is the first attempt and they have, and it works so well that it beats companies that have been doing it for years. Okay, and this is the first attempt. Like, this is 1 year that they have created this, or like almost 2 years that they have created this phase detect autofocus. So when I'm talking about it and I say that it beats a lot of companies, it's because this is the only second year that they have developed this AF and they keep improving it, while other companies that have had it for years are still having big issues of just tracking. Of course, it's not perfect. There is no perfections in this world, unfortunately. So we can't always be nitpicking and stuff like that, because this autofocus system, as you can see, it works. And if you use it in the more extreme scenarios, it might have struggles, of course, compared to Sony or Canon, but even Canon has still a lot of work to do with the autofocus system, while Sony, it's probably way better. But in any case, it's amazing. This is the second year and they are, I repeat it again, beating many other companies that have had it for many years. And that's something that people should keep in mind. Third point is IBIS. Well, what should we say about it? IBIS that Lumix delivers in all their cameras is just amazing. In the GH lineup, they have the best of the best IBIS that you can ever have in the camera. And now, with the Lumix S5IIX and the S5II and the S9, you have the possibility to set the stabilization to high. And that literally, it's just mind-blowing how you are able to use this literally handheld and almost get footage that are gimbal-like. Almost, right? You can't get near any mechanical device to stabilize by just stabilizing through your hand. But it's almost there. So I can't imagine what Lumix will be able to do in the future. That will be pretty interesting. The first point is Vlog. For me, Lumix Vlog has been the best log format that I've been using until now. And I've used Blackmagic log, I've used Canon C-Log 1, C-Log 3, and C-Log 2. And Vlog is still the one that I love the most. This is my own opinion, my own liking, so you can write me down below what you think and what you prefer, but Vlog has been so far my favorite log format just for how beautiful it renders dark skin tones, because it's important for me that dark skin tone looks properly and looks beautiful and popping, and Vlog until now has been the one that I've been lucky to work with that has given me the most pleasing image out of all the ones that I've used. So chapeau to Lumix, that's amazing and I love that. The next feature is real-time LUT. Real-time LUT is amazing. I'm currently using real-time LUT so that I can just pop my footage from Vlog already converted in Rec 709 and already with my creative LUT on it. So that's it. Everything is nice popping. The blue there is popping. The green here is popping. My skin, everything here is well exposed, beautiful, and I can monitor it perfectly from the monitor there, and everything looks good. So I will just put it straight in my editing program, edit the footage, the sound, and everything, and not worry about color grading, and just put it in YouTube. And that saves me so much time. So real-time LUT is just a time saver. And now with the S9, you can even, or with the new firmware update now in the S5 Mark II and the S5IIX, you can even apply 2 different LUTs, which I don't use often, but if you want a video on it, comment down below and I will do a video on it. But it's quite cool, the things, and the future looks really bright for Lumix for all of this amazing feature they are delivering in this 2-year-old camera. Let's remember that it's 2 years old and you're still getting amazing firmware updates that make this camera look newer and newer. The next is the Lumix Lab app finally landing on the Lumix S5IIX and the Lumix S5 Mark II. And I'm so pumped and happy about this app, even though this firmware update doesn't excite me a lot, just because we still don't have some things that the S9 has, but I talked about them in my previous video, so I will link it at the end of this so you can go watch it if you want to watch it. But yeah, it's quite cool, and I'm actually waiting for the next version of firmware update because I'm really excited to get 2 things from this Lumix Lab app: the multi-frame markers and the possibility of the camera control. So as I always say, the Lumix Sync app, it doesn't work for me. So I'm pretty bummed and pretty happy to see that they have implemented the new camera control into the Lumix Lab app, and it looks amazing because finally you can apply LUTs directly from the app into the camera and control completely the camera from the app. So, and it looks like it's less choppy and really beautiful to use, because if you have used the Lumix Sync app before, you know what I'm talking about. So this is quite beautiful. Thank you, Lumix, and please give it to us pretty soon because I have a lot of use for that, especially in December that I will have a lot of work coming on. So please, Lumix, deliver it to us. One of the amazing things that Lumix always deliver is the amount of exposure tools that we have in the camera, right? We have waveforms, that is my favorite exposure tool here in the camera. We have luminance spot to really nail your exposure, the dark and the highlights, and not clip them or crush the shadows, for example. And that's super good. We have zebras, and then you can have false color through LUT, and then just kind of set one of your buttons to basically expose or toggle the false color. So it's super good and super amazing, because we know that other companies or the first companies don't even have many of this feature. Canon just basically started delivering false color in a couple of their cameras, and the latest ones don't even have them yet. And Sony, well, we know they don't even have waveforms in, you know, their mirrorless cameras, and false color, basically none of their cameras I think have it, except of course the cinema lineup. So it's super cool that Lumix keep pushing the boundaries and keep pushing companies to do better, even though they are the underdogs, right? But that's the job of underdogs, is to push the bigger companies to try and do better. And Lumix is definitely doing that. The other point is basically Lumix is the only, or now one of the two only companies that delivers basically the 6K shooting mode from the camera, from a mirrorless camera. Remember, mirrorless camera. Until now, Lumix was the only one that will allow you to shoot 6K at this price point. So full resolution 6K at this price point. So between the 2000 and the 3000 mark. Now Nikon has come out with the Z6 Mark III, which in my opinion has disrupted the whole industry, because now it has set a new bar for all the cameras to follow, right? But Lumix has been doing that until now, and it will keep doing that, because there are still a lot of things that Lumix S5IIX has that the Z6 Mark III still don't have. And I have had many comments saying that people rather go with the S5IIX than the Z6 Mark III for different reasons, right? But that's their own use scenario. So it's to respect their own opinion, and you have your own, and that's right. And everyone has an opinion, but I agree with them in some cases. If I would be able to buy the Z6 Mark III, I would do it, but for sure to use it in pair with the S5IIX, because for video, I feel like the S5IIX, it's way better and useful for me. I don't care about 4K 120, plus it's cropped anyway, and it's line skipped, I think. The 4K 60 uncropped is probably the one that it's a little bit of a downside, but I don't really use it anyway, because I shoot mostly in 25 frames per second here in Europe when I do narrative work, and when I do dancing or weddings. I can use, of course, the 4K 60, but I have a turn around on that. And yeah, I mean, everyone has their own scenarios, but for video, the S5IIX work better for me, and for photo, for sure, the Z6 Mark III will be a better camera. The S5IIX is the only camera to deliver an external recording option through USB-C, the only mirrorless camera. So that makes this camera almost like a cinema camera, especially when you compare it to the Blackmagic system, right? Because they are the other only company that delivers cameras that are able to record externally through SSD. And that is an amazing feature, because this opens up so much for this camera. If you don't want to use the V90 super expensive cards that don't make sense for me, because I use only V60 anyway. And you can record all intra, you can record all the flavors of ProRes through that SSD, except ProRes RAW that we are going to talk about later, because you are able to do that with this camera too. So that SSD is an amazing feature in this camera, because it gives you way more recording time if you are recording an event, or you are recording a movie, or you're like whatever you're doing, you have way more recording time through that SSD, especially if you're recording that huge 1.9 gigabyte of ProRes 422 HQ file at 5.9, I believe. So that is an amazing thing, and there is no other camera out there that allows you to do that, or there is no other mirrorless camera out there that allows you to do that. So that is an impressive thing that Lumix is doing there. The last thing, but not the least, is external RAW recording. So through the finally full HDMI, we can record B-RAW through a video assist, a video assist 5-inch or 7-inch, and you can record ProRes RAW through the Atomos Ninja's monitors, right? And one thing that I hope Blackmagic will do is to basically allow ProRes RAW recording through their monitors, because we know that they're already working with Apple through the Blackmagic app and stuff like that, and even allow the Intros to edit natively ProRes RAW. And I hope that will happen, because that will open so much or so many doors to clients buying the video assist. I hope there could be some collaboration more with Apple so that we can get ProRes RAW into the video assist, because I think I don't think people will not shoot in B-RAW because you have ProRes RAW anyway. So please, Blackmagic, allow us to do that. That will be a game changer and amazing, so we don't need to have two different monitors, especially because clients sometimes ask for ProRes RAW, so I need to rent a Ninja to be able to do that. And yeah, but if I have one monitor that can do both, because I prefer B-RAW than ProRes RAW, that's what I prefer, it will be super good. But hey, these were my reason of why I think the S5IIX, it's still one of the best cameras around, just because of how feature packed this camera is. I mean, it took me almost 20 minutes to record this video because I needed to talk about all the features, and I haven't even covered even half of the features. Like in pictures, if we go in the photography mode, it has 30 frames per second electronically. It doesn't have the faster sensor, so there is going to be a lot of woo going on. But hey, that's the downside that you have to go through for a camera at this price point, right? And then the handheld high resolution mode, no camera out there is able to do that except Lumix cameras. So here you get it. And the other trillion of features that this camera have, but these are for me the main reasons why this camera is still pretty compelling compared to others. But what do you think? Let's chat down below. Thank you for sticking here and watching my videos, and thank you for the amazing support that you guys have been giving me. And I am really thrilled for what is coming, because there is a lot of things coming. There are quite a few things that I will talk about soon, because we are still in the contracting phase. So you'll hear about it soon. But hey, I'm a bit sick in this moment, as you can hear probably, and my nose keeps like drooling because we are back at the winter in Finland. So that's be it. Take good care of yourself. I'm gonna see you in the next one.